The iLLANOiZE app is available now on Apple and Google Play Store. Download the app, get the latest news, stream our podcasts, watch interviews, and listen to iLLANOiZE Radio live. Download the app right now.
This is iLLANOiZE Radio with Biko, iLLANOiZE Jones, and Pretty Riot. Going down right now.
As we do always, man, we interview the hottest, the dopest people in the city and the world. And today, we got the man right here in iLLANOiZE Radio. Van in the building, y'all. Make some noise. Look, and he got a cup with us, and he's drinking with us too.
Period.
You feel me?
Shots on them.
Look, how you doing, brother?
I'm all good, man. Thanks for having me, brother.
Man, look, so you come from a TV, you started off tattooing, you feel me, and your show in the city is busting, you feel me. I just want to know, like, what got you into tattooing?
Before I started tattooing, I was designing clothes and shoes.
Okay.
I've always been an artist, since I was a very young age, 7 years old. I started, drawing and dabbling. I got that inspiration from my father. And then, I transcended off into, doing paintings, murals, and shortly afterwards that got me into wanting to dibble off into doing tattoos,
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough to meet somebody that could actually teach me the way.
So you was the guy everybody in high school went to for the hood tattoos.
I wasn't in high school. I had already graduated. I had already left college. I started tattooing at the age of 25.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I was the guy for the custom everything, like the spray paint and the Jordans and the Air Force Ones getting painted on.
So you was that
guy.
I was that dude.
He's the plug.
Yeah.
So
Early.
you remember your first tattoo? Like how was your experience with that? Like, was you nervous?
My first tattoo I did on myself.
Okay.
What was it?
It was a Chinese symbol under the star here. It meant get drunk. Coincidentally, I'm having a drink right now, so ain't nothing changed, obviously.
Living your best life. That's all.
YOLO.
So you're doing the tattoos at 25, and bam, you on TV doing tattoos. Like
that was crazy.
Like what was that like? Like getting that opportunity.
It was like more of a surreal feeling to me because I didn't really know or I didn't even never think that, I would ever be behind the tube, you know what I'm saying? So I never looked at it to say, like, okay, I want to be on television. I never had that type of thought process. But to actually get it and be doing something that's positive for my city, you know what I'm saying, for the world to see, it was like a real humbling experience, man, to like actually watch yourself on TV. Even throughout the bad moments, I always try to take a lot of good out of those things because I have had a lot of success on television, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a surreal moment. I got to take deep breaths every time I think about it.
Okay. One thing I wanted to know about the show was, like, were y'all all familiar with each other, or was it something y'all just came to get, like, y'all just came together to do the show?
Before the show came, I had already knew Ryan Four and Kat personally. I've been knowing them for about 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Before I started tattooing, I was real in close connection with Ford because he was designing clothes too.
Okay.
And I used to actually, mess with Ford's sister. So she introduced me to Ford. You know what I'm saying? So
I like the little smirk over there.
my bad, Ford. This thing wouldn't have been possible without you, brother. Brother.
Let me ask you this. So, bam, you on TV.
Right.
At what point do you understand the magnitude of your position?
I've understood it as I've grown to be on television because sometimes I'll get stopped in the streets and it'll be for like the things that I've done negative on the show. But now, so as I've grown into a man, my character has grown. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to get stopped for the philanthropy work I'm doing. I'm starting to get stopped for for my artwork and for my pieces and for people to follow me on more of a level that they see outside of the show. So I think that everybody's just getting to know Van on a more level of an upward level, and everything that they see on the show is always just not always for the show, I should say. Right. So I think that me and being in a position of where I'm at right now, I'm blessed, and I think people are starting to finally see who I am as a person versus me as a character.
I've been the episodes I have caught. You know what I mean? Like you said, your character has matured and became that. What pushed? Because the episodes I've seen, you've been more of like trying to be the glue and keeping things together. You know what I mean? Trying to keep people, bring friendships and connect people back together, or just stop the bullshit from happening. Like, what made you mature and wanted to be that? You know what I mean? The big brother. You know what I mean? Of the crew.
I mean, well, I've always been older than those guys, you know. So I mean, Ryan said it a long time ago. Van sees things from a more mature standpoint, and I still feel that way to this point. We've all grown in different levels and different ways in our lives, but I always known that, like, some of those guys didn't grow up in Chicago personally.
Okay.
You know, I knew where exactly I came from. I never took anything away from it. I take homage from my area that I come from, and I see that us being in a place that that the kids are now are more so, what can we do to show these guys that if they make mistakes, they can still bring things together and they can come to be, you know what I'm saying, of a place to whereas somebody that they older, I mean, somebody that younger than can actually look up to. So I know that me having the position that I am right now, having this, that those guys looked up to me. And the people before them looked up to them. You know what I'm saying? Right. I remember when I first started tattooing, the guy that taught me, his name was D. So I'm looking up to him heavily. Like, man, I wish, you know what I'm saying, like, you can teach me this route, teach me this platform. And when I was doing tattoos, I remember back in the day, like, Full hit me, like, man, I just seen the tattoo D did, man. That's inspiring, man. I want to get into tattooing too. You know what I'm saying? I want to learn this. So with that being said, to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, sum it all up, everybody I'm 36 years old. Those guys are 5 years younger than me. D is 5 years older than me. I think progression comes at a 5-year standpoint in life. And when you that old and you can actually look back and say, this is what I'm doing right now, and you can be doing something. They always say what you could be doing in the next 5 years.
Right.
This is what you can be doing in the next 5 years to come, especially if you plan.
All right,
What side of Chicago are you from?
Born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I come from Auburn, Gresham neighborhood, Inglewood area.
Okay.
81st and May, 78th and Aberdeen.
All right, so I'm sitting next to you, and I can't help but, you know, see your daughter on your head.
Right.
And when I originally went to your Instagram page, it took me to your daughter page, and she highlighted that tattoo and said it meant so much to her. Mm-hmm. And me being a black father, you know what I'm saying, it means a lot to me to be in my child's life. So can you just speak on how important it is to be a black father when you see so much negativity of people saying that, oh, black fathers are not in their kids' lives?
Yeah, man. I never really knew how impactful it was to be a father, number one. And I never understood what it would be like to, you know, change the dynamic of how people view you as a black man, how people view you as a father. And me being an active father in my child's life, it means the real to me because this is my seed. This is she see everything I do. I keep it real transparent with my daughter because she's now 17 years old, so she's not a dumb young girl. She's very smart, very attentive, and she's very focused on what I do, you know. And when I got her from, you know, she made some mistakes when she was like maybe 8th, 9th grade. I'm like, you know what? I think that this is the time that I need to, you know, take you away from your mom for you to live with your father for a while. And once I did that, that kind of like changed her life. And it very, very much changed my own life because this is the way that I start, you know what I'm saying, fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in, like, you know, 9th grade, teenage years, I'm like, I needed some guidance. I needed somewhere, you know, some leadership. I needed some foundation, and my mother couldn't give me that. Right. All of that. You know what I'm saying? She gave me as much as she could, but she couldn't give me everything that I needed because my father passed when I was 7 years old. So I felt that it was very pivotal for me to step up in my child's life and be a father so she can see exactly what her mother have given her all these years. Now she can physically see what her father can give her. So it's definitely changed my life, you know what I'm saying? It definitely has changed hers. And I just want to be, you know, a representation of what a black man and a black father should be in Chicago and all across the country. I've definitely changed lives and it's definitely helped. So I'm good.
Yo, look, man, we gonna keep Van here as long as possible, man. We finna get into some of this good music we got, man. Y'all don't go nowhere, man. Make sure y'all hit up the Instagram, the Twitters. If y'all want to ask Van a question, man, hit us up at iLLANOiZE Radio. That's Twitter, Instagram. Hit us up right now. Whatever questions y'all have, hit us up, and we gonna ask them for y'all. You feel me?
Make sure to check out the Ill List playlist in which we provide you with the latest tracks we play live on our show. Head over to Spotify and search iLLANOiZE Radio to follow our playlist, as well as follow our podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
Back to iLLANOiZE Radio. Got my homies in here with me.
Hey.
Yay, Mary J in the building.
It's a drip.
And everyday J.
You already know.
And then we got our super duper guest in the building, Mr. Von Johnson in here, chilling. He got on his trench coat, looking like he just came from the Bumpy Johnson, Bumpy Johnson
definitely.
film. Like he just filmed the extra in Bumpy Johnson.
And then when I'm on the movie too, call me Von.
Oh,
You French nigga, watching Van.
So man, look. So not only do you do tattoos, you design clothes too, man.
Definitely.
And a couple years ago, shout out to my homeboy Smash Cash. I was at the release. I think it was the release party you had for your clothing line, Chicago Rilla, on a rooftop.
Oh yeah.
At the over on Canal. I think it's
the Corner Lost building.
Yeah. We was over there, and I was like, yo, this is nice.
Thank you, bro.
You know what I mean? And plus, it reminded me of the Bump J mixtape too, the Chicago Rilla joint.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Bump J.
Yeah, most definitely. So what made you get back into fashion?
Well, I never really got out of it,
Okay.
honestly. It was just something that I kind of put on the back burner. But fashion has always been a part of me. Getting up, getting dressed. I still feel like a kid some days when you putting your clothes together, your shoes, you're matching your stuff up, getting ready to go to school. I do that sometimes when I'm getting ready to come to an award show or something like that. I want to look good. I want to look presentable. My mom always told me, man, always go out. It don't matter if you have a dime in your pocket, you got to look the part. You know what I'm saying? You got to look like you got something.
Right.
So I've just always been, a person that wanted to just look good wherever I go.
So you be looking at me like, I'm finna fuck him up tonight.
Yeah. Every time I put something together,
Like when you put that on, you like, I'm finna fuck him up at the radio station.
And when I get dressed, when I put my people always ask me, man, what you wearing tonight, man? I'm like, man, you'll see. You'll see.
You'll see, folks. You'll see. I'm gonna fuck him up, though.
So being from Chicago and your clothing line is actually called Chicago Rilla. How has Chicago actually inspired you in your creative arts?
Chicago is a city of huge different monuments, very artistic. It's all type of architectural design work around Chicago that inspires you to do or want to do something that's great. So Chicago has always been my inspiration. You know what I'm saying? This is a city that's frowned upon on certain aspects of, of course, the violence, the gun violence, and the youthful killings. But it's definitely a city that's turned around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it's uplifting now. And I'm trying to be one of the people and the advocates out here that can show that Chicago is a beautiful place to grow in. And it's not always about, what you see on the radio. What you hear on the radio, what you see on the TV, on the blogs, and anything like that. It's more so about what we push out. And what we pushing out is greatness. So shout out to you and what you're doing, your voice of reasoning and trying to, tell what Chicago is all about. And I'm just trying to do the same exact thing.
All right. So I wanted to know, what inspired the clothing line Chicago Rilla? What made you give it that name? And
well, the gorilla is one of the most dominant animals in the jungle, and the jungle is a place that's obviously hard to grow up in. If you can imagine, it's a bunch of animals in the jungle. That's I kind of look at those. I look at that as a reference to Chicago because Chicago is my concrete jungle. Right. So the animals in the jungle, the little animals that really can't touch a gorilla, those are the haters that I look at in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And those the people that I look at as haters, is my inspiration. And the gorilla is like one of the dominant animals to take care of their young. Very focused, you know what I'm saying, very attentive, one of the smartest animals in the jungle. And I figure that's exactly how I am. You know what I'm saying? Always overlooked because they say the lion is the king of the jungle.
Right.
But I believe that the gorilla is the king of the jungle, you know what I'm saying? Because we're very humble, you know what I'm saying? We big, brolic. We know, you know what I'm saying, we're a little grimy at times, but we know exactly, you know, how to deal with things. We take care of our family, we take care of our young, and we pushing forward and we striving for success. You know what I'm saying? The gorilla's obviously striving for, you know what I'm saying, a well-being to take care of his family. But I'm striving for success, and I'm taking care of my family, and I'm trying to do something better for my team, for my family, and I'm trying to do something for Chicago, man, before it's all over and done with.
So like what's something that influenced you to be like so deep into fashion? Because you said you started in designing before you got into tattooing. So like, what got you like into fashion? Like, what inspired you to get into fashion?
I look at a lot of influences, man. Like the guy who's he's the designer for Gucci.
Okay.
He's like 70 years old right now, 60-something years old. You know what I'm saying? But he always was a designer, but never got the recognition. You know what I'm saying? It's called Dapper.
Dapper Dan.
Dapper Dan.
Okay.
Never got the recognition. Never got the influence. Nobody ever recognized him until he got, you know, as an older age. But we are the flyest, man. Like, black culture is the flyest, the dopest individuals. You know what I'm saying? We teach people how to dress. You know what I'm saying? This culture is an amazing culture, and I'm just so inspired by everything that we do, especially in the fashion. You know what I'm saying? We make these clothes. We design these clothes. We make people want to dress like us and want to do the things that we do. Right. So
Thanks.
I was always inspired by fashion because when I put something on, I put these colors together, and I put these colorways together, and these outfits that make you want to dress like me. You know what I'm saying? So that's inspiring to others. It's inspiring to other cultures. But I think that black culture is one of the best cultures. You know what I'm saying? So I do it for my city. I do it for my culture, man, because we hot shit. We dope like that.
Yeah.
So you got your own clothing brand, right? Chicago Villa. And you also like an ambassador for Fashion Nova.
Exactly.
Like, how do you balance those two?
Honestly, man, it was just to get all of those clothes. I get like 15 pieces per month. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's huge, you know.
Yeah.
And I just see that Fashion Nova is a huge brand. It's inspirational, you know what I'm saying, to be able to post those things for Fashion Nova and actually get a check for it every month. Like, that's huge. You know what I'm saying? So,
ain't nothing wrong with a check.
Especially for something that you love to do.
Of course.
Yeah.
So to take pictures for Fashion Nova and then take pictures for my own brand, hey, I don't give a fuck. Hey, bring another fashion brand along that want to, you know, that want me to promote them. No big deal. That's another check in my pocket.
True.
What advice do you have for people who's trying to break into the fashion industry?
Just work hard, man. And another thing is, like, you have to study. I was watching this guy on Instagram the other day. I think it's FBC Clothing. You guys got to look him up. He's like super crazy and like, he's cultivating, and everything that he makes is custom made. I'm talking about down from the hats all the way down to the socks. Like, it's crazy. His fashion design, he was like, man, I'm not a T-shirt designer. I'm an actual designer. I do this by hand. You know what I'm saying? I send it off to the manufacturer to make an abundance of merchandise. But this is what I do. So if you really want to, you know, be a whatever you want to be, you have to be able to study it. You have to embody it. You have to live. You have to love it. And if this is going to be your job, I know a lot of people go to work every day and don't even want to be there. But me, personally, fashion, tattoos, you know, this is something that I love. And when I get up, I don't think that this is work. So my best advice for a person that wants to do something with their life, just love it. And when you get to work, you're not clocking in. You're just going to do something that you love. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing it every day. And you're gonna be able to inspire others and make people do what you want to do. Leadership.
So you went from art to clothing to TV, back to clothing, and now you're a philanthropist. So go ahead and speak on the company you recently partnered with to feed the homeless.
Yeah, I partnered with this company called La Casa Norte. It's on the north side of Chicago, and they house the homeless. You know, if you've been chronically homeless, they're building houses for you to actually live in. And like when you move in, this is your house, you know, forever. So I was very inspired by the architectural design of the place. When I went there, I'm like, man, look at this. This is like an enormous place. I'm like, can I move in? You know what I'm saying? Like it was very inspiring to see exactly what they were doing out of their own pockets. And I was moved by it. And when they wanted me to partner with them, it was just a no-brainer. I'm like, man, I'm definitely always giving back to the homeless. I've given back to the people in my community that's less fortunate. I would love to be a partner in what you guys are doing, and hopefully I can offer more. So that's that, man. La Casa Norte, shout out to them.
Man, with your with how you started, did you ever think that you'll be able to use being creative to influence not just artists, but
right.
You know what I mean, just everybody?
No, to be honest, like I never really thought that my life would be going in the direction it's in, because my life has always been kind of like a up and down type of thing, you know. And to be in a position that I'm in right now, that just goes to show you that whatever you're going through in life, it's always up to it, especially if you're down. You have nowhere else to look but up. So I would just, you know, hope that everybody that's listening right now understand and know that I've been in those positions where I was almost homeless. I've been in those positions where I was in jail, in prison, and just not knowing exactly what direction to go in. But I always had faith. I've always had hope. And I've always been a person of God, a son of God, to know that something is going to be, if I can wake up every morning, something is going to be better for me. Right. You know, and if I can push for and strive for success, something is going to happen for me to whereas I'm going to be able to influence the next person. I'm going to be able to do exactly what, you know, my work is to do here. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing God's work right now. I'm going through tough times right now, but I just know that, hey, if I'm here to talk to you, and if you can believe exactly what I'm saying, if you can understand it and feel it, then I'm just here to do my job.
I want to know, like, being that you had a long journey, and you turned around and used your platform to influence, you know what I mean, and help others. What do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years with your platform and with what you got going on?
Well, within the next 5 years, I hope to be, honestly, I hope to be retired. I hope to be just able to still speak and do exactly what, you know, I'm here to do. But most importantly, I've put a lot of years, a lot of work, hard work and dedication to my crafts. I just want to reap the benefits and sit on the beach, you know,
man,
and just relax with a big house in the background. Hopefully, my daughter doesn't have any kids yet. And I don't want to be a grandfather until I'm like 50. Hey. So I just want to be able to live my life, man, comfortably and be appreciative of everything that, you know, I've done and I've had the opportunity to do.
Okay, man.
So I heard that you're going on a tattoo tour.
Yes, I am.
So
Definitely.
How did you even come up with an idea like that? Like that's pretty cool.
Well, the show only shows certain percentages of who I am. Mm-hmm. You know, they definitely dibble and dabble and film a lot of cast members. So I can't sit and let them tell my story. I'm here to tell my own story.
Facts.
And I've been working my ass off, you know what I'm saying, for years and years. And now that I've built up enough platform and enough following to where I can just go and do what I want and what I love all over the country, why not do it myself, you know? Like, I'm not putting anybody in, like, nobody's putting me in a position to do this. I'm taking money out of my own account, and I'm doing it on my own, and that's the beautiful thing about it. So I'm hitting Cincinnati, Ohio first, October 26th, which is next Saturday. I'll be hitting Detroit in November 8th and 9th. Coming back doing a fashion show on November 10th. I'm hitting Miami in December. So I'm just trying to work, and while I got the opportunity, while I'm able, I'm getting up every morning and my hands and my feet is working, I'm just going to do God's work and what he put me here to do.
Man, that's what's
up. That's dope.
How many oh, you got a question?
Yeah, I just want to say it's so powerful for you to understand your platform. And like you say, the show can show you in whatever light they choose to.
Of course.
But at the same time, it's up to you to speak and showcase who you are as a person.
Definitely.
So I just want to commend you on, you know what I'm saying, because I watched the show and I see how they film shit.
Right.
How they edit things.
Yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
just sitting here, just listening to you speak and all the things that you got going on, I want to commend you as a black man.
Thank you,
know what I'm
brother.
saying?
Yes, sir. Take a drink to that.
Because it's powerful to understand your platform and to use it in a positive way. Because a lot of people say negativity sells, but behind closed doors, that positivity will take you farther than
Of course.
any negativity.
Always.
Salute to you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Man.
I appreciate that, man. I thank you for even noticing, man, because it means something to me. Whereas people can look beyond what VH1 shows, which is it's a good television show. You can't deny that. But if you look at 4 people that started a tattoo shop all together, you put the platform on one person like he did it all. That's unfair to the people that started it with you.
Right.
And also, what's wrong with 4 black brothers coming together, starting something and branching off and doing their own things? Why can't you show this guy doing his own thing right here? He opened up a tattoo shop right here. Van opened up one right here. 4 opened up another one. What's wrong with showing the separation, but the connection as well? Nothing is wrong with that. It's enough cameras. It's enough footage. It's enough editing, to show that these brothers are doing something that's empowering other people to want to do something great too.
Right.
And that's what I kind of like look down upon VH1 for not showing that black people can come together and do something great.
What's
Why
one?
do you think it's like that? Oh, sorry.
We got the same question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why do you think it's like that? Because I hear so much like, media is perceiving it to be this way, and really, like you said, like all of us can come together and do something great together, but we do all got our own individual things together. Why do you think they don't want to show that?
I think that the head of these companies are not our complexion.
Bow.
That is.
Drink to that too.
They don't want to see that.
That is.
They don't want to see that.
So I wanted to know, like, what's something that people don't get to see behind cameras? You know what I mean? Like, what's something that the cameras don't show? You know what I mean? And get misunderstood. You know what I mean? That y'all would love to show them, or you personally, that they don't get about you.
I think that I would love to see them show a more genuine side of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the impurity that they show is just like, it's not attractive. I like people to see me in a natural light. And I know that I do things, and everybody does things that's not, not always right. We do some fucked up stuff, and I'm you know what I'm saying, one of the person that can admit to it. But I also know that my good always outweighs the bad. So I would hope that they show that some philanthropy work that I do. Come to the shelter, see what I do with the homeless people. See how I talk and interact with these people that have no families. These people are some of these people are refugees that lost their family at the border,
Right.
And these people are not all of our color, and descent. And I talk to these people, and some of them are moved by my story, and I'm just in tears, moved by theirs. So I would hopefully that I would hope to see that they show a more genuine side of me, showing my community work, because that's more important than. It's more important than a tattoo. It's more important than, a fight or somebody having sex. That's not what inspires people.
Right.
What inspires people is something that moves you, and somebody that could be inspired to want to do what you're doing or do something better than what you're doing. That's what inspires me to be who I am. So I will hopefully they show a more genuine side of Van.
Man, look, I'm convinced that I'm ready for a tattoo now. I ain't got one yet, but I'm gonna let Van do my first tattoo, y'all.
That's dope. Super dope.
He cooler than the fan, y'all. Look, man, he cooler than the fan, man. Look, you have any shout outs you want to give? Letting people keep up with the tour dates, your tattoos, your fashion shows, whatever you got going on. Let people know how they can reach you.
Definitely.
Contact with you and all that.
Anybody can reach me on Instagram, Van Johnson Official. On my Facebook is Van Johnson, first and last government name. Twitter is Van Tats with a Z, VANTATZ. Is that correct? Okay, cool. I want to give a shout out to my manager, man. My manager, CC. Christina, she's here with me currently right now. She's always been by my side, you know what I'm saying? And she's taking the liberty of taking on all my garbage.
Yeah, Chicago Rilla, she's here by the way too. Chicago Rilla. What can people pick up the clothing line from?
You can pick up the clothing from ChicagoRilla.com. You can also come over to the store. I got a clothing store for it at 2150 Canalport Avenue at the Corner Lofts, Suite 3B10. Cold as Ice Tattoos is my tattoo shop. That's co-owner with my homeboy D. That's Suite 3C10 on the same floor. And February 15th, All-Star Weekend, is huge. We're doing a fashion show. It's going to be the second anniversary fashion show that we're doing for Chicago Rilla. Okay. So
I need to be in that. I need to be in that.
Me too.
I'm a model.
No,
Something like that.
You got it.
I'm Idris Elba.
Need some new faces.
You got the look.
Short Idris Elba in here. You know what I mean? I'm here.
You got the beard popping.
Hey, look, if you need me, I'm here.
All right.
If you need me, I'm here.
Yeah, so that's just some of the things that I'm working on, man, and just hopefully, everybody comes out and support and continue to do, what they're doing to make me do what I do best.